What's going on today, people? You already know what it is. It's your boy Tunchi, and this is YBETV. You already know what to do. Hit me up on my Gmail at 1ybetv@gmail.com, and you're going to get a response back to your question. Today's question comes from my boy Israel Gordon. This is a real short one, but it's going to be a nice long answer, man. It says, which is easier to maintain? An automatic or manual transmission? Man, bro, I think that you gave me such a short question, but I think you knocked it right out the park. This is one of the questions that people haven't really touched on. And honestly, I want to hit on this thing as a whole about running it and about maintenance in it. So I think you knocked it out the park with this one, bro. First off, we're going to talk about running it. An automatic transmission, honestly, I ran them like one time. I've never really like used one as a truck where I drove every day or nothing like that. I tested in an automatic transmission truck. And when I tell you it was a pain in the ass, it was a pain in the ass because it's like you not in control. Like, okay, you start off and it takes a little bit of time for it to get started. You know, you get started, and then as you're going down the road, it's starting to switch gears on its own, and then you get to a certain speed, or if you catch a gear going down the hill, like if as you speed up, it will jump into the next gear and keep going. You have to change into a manual when you're going down like mountains and things like that. Otherwise, you would go from fourth to eighth gear. You'll probably end up killing yourself, from what I understand, with a manual transmission. Don't quote me on that because I'm not an expert on the automatic. I'm sorry, automatic transmission. You have to go to manual on like hills and things like that. I don't like them. I really don't like them. I'm not a fan of them. I really I couldn't see myself buying one unless it was like super duper 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 cheap, like a 2012 Freightliner automatic for about $8,000 to $10,000-$12,000. Then I would think about it. When it comes to fixing an automatic transmission, from what I understand, they have a lot more problems because you got a lot more to do. It is a little bit more difficult because it's more I think it's more computer involved with when you're dealing with the automatic transmission. I'm not 100% sure, but what I can say is I was told, and this is all hearsay, I was told that an automatic transmission is a lot more expensive to build and rebuild. Is a lot more expensive. Now we're going to get to the manual side. I am a fan of the manual transmission because you learn how to shift, you learn how to downshift, you learn how to upshift, you learn how to float, you learn how to be in full control of the truck. And another thing is it's a lot harder to speed in your truck when you got a manual transmission. If the speed limit is 45, I could do a seven split on the gears. Like a seven split means that you take it, you put it in seventh gear, and you click your button 7.5. You click that red button on the side, and now you're at the 7.5 gear. You tap that one out, and you right in the sweet spot, right at 75 miles per hour. I know that because I've been on my manual transmission for like 7-8 years now. Going on 8 years now. So it's a lot harder to speed because when the speed limit picks up, I'm gonna jump out of 7.5 and I'm gonna go to eighth gear and I'm gonna go to 8.5. So what I'm gonna say is that it's a lot easier to deal with. And then when it comes down to going down the grade, only thing I gotta do if I'm riding down Donner's Pass or if I'm riding down that hill in Colorado, Vail. It's called Vail. If I'm going through Vail, which I'm not gonna do anymore, I could drop my truck into fifth gear, pop it in the fifth gear, toss on that Jake brake, and just ride down. I could stay in my lane and hit that Jake brake and ride down that thing with snow on it and be eating some noodles. I'm talking about I wouldn't do it, but I could be eating some noodles going down that thing. And that's a manual transmission. It's pretty simple, man. It's pretty, man. I really like it. So I'm a fan, and this is all opinion. I'm a fan of the manual transmission, man. Like, I don't see myself liking, I don't see myself doing anything automatic, especially not now. So that's all I can say, man. Just be careful, man, when it comes to those automatics. And it's got to be something, because you really don't see a lot of people using them. Like, out of 30 trucks on the road, 30 different companies, you probably will run into maybe one, maybe two of them that uses automatic transmissions in their truck. So I hope that's helpful, man. I hope that was a big one, man. That was a nice question, but I hope that's helpful, Israel. You already know what it is. If you don't want to end up in a box, bro, think outside of it. YBE.
Drug dealing and killing is going on in my town. It don't take a killer to kill or a driller to drill. See, just being yourself is the definition of real.